What's up, everybody, to another episode to Hentai to Listen. Final episode of the year.
Hell yeah. We're recording this twice.
Yeah. The technical difficulties.
Because my microphone hates me.
It really does. It really does. So, if you haven't known by now, Cowboy Bebop is canceled.
Canceled live action.
After 3 weeks of airing. Because, I don't know who really is to blame. Because there's fingers being pointed everywhere.
Yeah,
in every direction.
Yeah, there's a lot of people being like, oh, it's the fans that wanted it canceled, or it was Netflix wanting it canceled. It was the producers, blah, 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 blah. From what I read and saw, it didn't do that bad in terms of just general ratings and stuff. So maybe Netflix was like, this better do fucking 90% rating constantly by users and people and make us a shit ton of money. And apparently it didn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because, from what I've read, it, the viewership or hours streamed was up the first episode and it just dropped.
And then drops,
during the second episode.
That sounds about right.
I don't know the website in general where you can look at the data for all this. I should probably look for it. But I will say this. I know what I said last podcast about how shitty it was. I did sign the petition to get it for the second season.
Yeah.
Only because I just need to finish because I'm that type of person.
Yeah, you're that type of guy.
Because I hated the Saw franchise, but I had to finish it with the exception.
Oh, God, yeah.
With the exception of Spiral and Jigsaw.
Yeah, I saw 1 and I was like, wow, this is interesting. And then Saw 2 came out. I was like, oh, God. Oh,
Yeah.
no. Okay, maybe the third one will be okay because I know they're going to make a third one. Then I saw the third one and I was like, oh, they're really doing this to me, aren't they?
Yeah. What else? There was other franchises. I'm like,
Yeah.
Attack on Titan.
Yeah, Attack on Titan.
I had to finish it even though it was shitty. But yeah.
Come at us, fanboys.
I still think I'm going to do that during Anime Minneapolis. Have my whiteboard. You seen the meme where the guy's sitting on the park with a mug. Changed my mind.
Yeah, changed my mind. Yeah, it's going to be AOT as shit. Changed my mind.
I think I'm going to do that. Just sitting up in the...
I legit think it's like Stockholm Syndrome at this point where everyone's convinced themselves that it's really good.
Yeah. So I know last episode there was going to be new changes to the show.
Yep.
Going forward, starting, I guess, obviously next year.
Sorry, all you Matt haters. I'm still part of the program. Get fucked.
So next, starting next year, whenever that Sunday is,
Yep.
we are going to go back to videoing. This time we're actually going to do a live show.
Yep.
So that way I don't have to worry about,
editing and matching audio
and everything like that.
All that lovely bullshit.
So we're going to do a podcast once, obviously every other month. We're going to do a podcast and then a live show and then, keep doing that format. For the live show, we're just going to do, a Mystery Science Theater style that you usually see at our panels type.
So yeah, basically what's going to happen is we're just going to have a blank screen for the actual video that you guys are seeing with a little timer that keeps track of where we're at with whatever we're watching, so you can watch along at home. For obvious reasons, we can't, have the audio or the video going because YouTube will destroy us within 5 seconds of that happening,
right? And
B, YouTube will destroy us in 5 seconds of it happening if it has the uncensored and other stuff to go with it. So,
the live show will be a little shorter. We'll just do the one episode, and then usually in our, whatever we have, whether it be news or a ranking or everything like that, it'll be kind of condensed instead of going through, watch that and then review. We'll just do watch party-ish.
Yeah, it's a technical watch party.
That being said, we will give you a heads up as far as what
we're watching
ahead of time. Also, in the case of Matt's absent, I'll just release a solo podcast of whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
I won't be doing that. It'll just be like a regular podcast, just a little condensed. So
kind of like the weekend update type thing, but
yeah.
So
Moving on. I know last episode.
a lot of last episodes. We did a lot last episode.
Yeah. We did we didn't really do it. We just brought up the data of the godly anime list.
Yeah, from like different age ranges, and there was a lot of us going, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
quite a lot of that.
And Matt brought up I wonder we should do a recommended started anime for, just in general.
Yep.
So I know you have different genres.
Yeah, so the way we kind of approach this differently, because I hate the question like, what's your favorite movie or what's your favorite anime? Because I have to break it down into like genres, because there's not going to be an all-encompassing show, except I guess I could argue one or two in my situation for anime that like fits the mold of like, oh, I'm always in the mood to watch this show. So I broke mine down into like a general watch, like you're not super used to anime, you're not really sure how to approach it, and it's relatively well liked by enough people where I'm comfortable recommending it. And then I have kind of, you're looking for just like a cutesy, heartwarming thing that's not so over the top, mushy moe garbage bullshit. So that's like in my cutesy category. And then I have my drama category, which is on the more, not super sad or anything, but kind of focuses more on like relationships and stuff. Then I have my comedy, which it's comedy, and then I have kind of the out there if you're willing to take a risk but don't want to start with just a generic boy in high school meets girl anime. It's a little different, which I'll get to. And then I have my action anime that I recommend to people. So
okay,
that's how I have mine broken down.
Mine's just I'm going to give you a stack of DVDs.
And just be like, watch this.
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of like that approach.
That, and it's more geared towards my typical age range.
Okay.
I don't expect like
older fans type thing.
Well, no, I'm not gonna expect like some 17-year-old or a
gotcha
40-year-old just come up to me, and a con or whatever, say, hey, what do you recommend?
Yeah.
Well, a 12-year-old or not 12, 17-year-old
gonna watch something way different than
might like, I don't know what your comedy style is like and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Versus this guy.
Yeah, are you the haha XD random type comedy, or do you like well-structured jokes or things like that? So
because somebody who liked George Carlin might not like Richard Pryor.
Yeah,
even though
exactly. Yeah, someone that likes George Carlin type comedy probably isn't going to watch Ghost Stories and be like, "This is the height of comedy." They'll probably laugh because it's stupid, and which is Ghost Stories is great.
So,
everyone should watch Ghost Stories. English dub only, people.
So I don't know because I only have 10. I don't know how many you have.
I have a little bit more than 10, but I can kind of group a lot of these up into like a general talking point. So
okay, because I'm just gonna go down.
Yeah, you can. We'll do yours first, and then we'll do mine.
Okay, so this is in no particular order. Like I said, this is just more of a group of here's a stack. Here you go.
Yeah, here's a stack of DVDs. Go through them,
and then tell me what you like, and then I'll go from there.
Gotcha.
So for me, number one is FMA Brotherhood.
Okay, I was so close to putting that on. I was very close.
Yeah. Again, like I said, this is more my age range. If I give you the original, you I feel like if you watch the original, you probably want more. Mm-hmm. Even if I gave you the movie, it'll close it out, the series, but it won't give you the whole story in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is Gundam Wing. I think that'll be a good mecha action.
Okay.
Of all the Gundams, I like Seed more than Wing, but however, I don't think you'll like the whole mopey of everybody in the series.
Yeah, Gundam Seed is just like Depression the anime with some
especially Destiny.
Yeah, with some mecha, and you're like, wait a minute, why are there robots in this drama show?
Yeah. So
and I feel so bad calling it out like that, but God, I remember watching that on like Toonami when I got home because it was Gundam Seed at the time that they were airing, and I was like, oh, Gundam, that's about robots and they fight. And it was like after a week of watching it, I'm like, why are they all sad? Where's the robots?
Yeah.
God.
I mean, Destiny was just worse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I liked it, but like I said, I like Seed and Destiny. Well, I like Seed more than Destiny. But anyway. But yeah, Gundam Wing, it'll give you a good action, and you can watch it sub or dub.
Okay.
Because back in those days, actually dub was the shit. As far as
it really was. Like, it was cool if you got to dub.
Yeah. Number 3, Roy Kenshin. That is...
Okay.
If you want good action, comedy, and it's a good mix of a lot of everything you have to offer, of comedy and everything. Granted, it's in the beginning, and then you get into more action style. There is a little smidge of political stuff in there.
Yeah.
Smidge, just a smidge.
Just a little bit.
So it's a good starter. Number 4, Spirited Away. Especially if you like a good drama movie. I feel that's very good.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. There's like probably about 3 or 4 Miyazaki films where I'm like, if you don't want to sit and watch a series, then just watch these movies and you'll kind of understand what anime is all about.
Yeah, for me, I didn't know whether to put Spirited Away or Princess Mononoke.
I think Spirited Away is the stronger choice.
Yeah,
because it's got a little bit of everything, and she's probably the best, besides the leads in Mononoke, she's probably the best lead character we've had in a Miyazaki film. So
that's why I went with Spirited Away. Number 5, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Okay.
A lot better action than... I shouldn't say that. Like I said, it's going back for more action. This time you're adding more spiritual, supernatural elements.
It's superpowers without it going overboard like Dragon Ball does.
Yeah, that's why I left that out.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, like, should I put Dragon Ball Z? I'm like, no, there's too many fucking episodes.
There's too much. Like, Dragon Ball Z Kai, maybe? Because that's like the condensed-ish version, but not really.
Yeah.
It's still... Kai still has issues for me to recommend and be like, sit and watch all of this. Like, that's a commitment. I mean, even Yu Yu Hakusho is like a commitment.
Yeah. I mean, yes, it kind of... I shouldn't say popularity, but story-wise, it kind of dies down towards the demon tournament.
Yeah, season 4 suffers because of the manga had to get like rushed to an end. So, and because they were being pretty faithful in terms of adapting the anime kind of suffered as a result.
Yeah.
So,
but other than that, yeah. Like you said, without going over the top and supernatural.
Yeah. My only warning with Hakusho is it is from that time period of animation where it's like, oh gosh, that's a lot of still frames that they just moved the camera over to do some stuff. So it does suffer a little bit from that, but the actual important fights are very well done.
Yeah.
So
number 6, I have Akira. I think everybody has to watch that.
It's easily one of the top 5 just influential films to come out of Japan, period, whether it's live action or animation. You see the reference everywhere in just about every form of media. You know, if you've seen somebody slide a vehicle into frame while looking at the camera, that's more than likely an Akira reference.
Yeah. Next is Fairy Tail. I think.
Ooh, okay. I want to hear the logic for Fairy Tail.
Well, for Fairy Tail, I put that on there because at least you have to watch a shonen. There's tons of shonen out there.
Yeah.
So my stance for this Fairy Tail is because if you watch Naruto, you're gonna get a lot of. I mean, yeah, you're gonna have action.
Naruto suffers from the Dragon Ball problem of filler and power levels, and eventually you're just like, I don't understand who's strong and who can beat who anymore.
I left Bleach out of it because
probably a good idea.
Same thing. I'm like, if we're not talking about manga, we're just strictly anime.
Yeah, strictly anime.
So I left Bleach out of there. Yes, the action scenes are good, but you also get a lot of political shit.
That means nothing to us.
Yeah. I left One Piece for very 1,000 obvious reasons. I left that out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, me personally, I think it's good if you just read it.
Yeah.
What other? I mean, again, I could keep going down. And
yeah.
So, as far as Fairy Tail, I mean, yes, you get your, you shonen fix.
Mm-hmm.
You get your comedy, action, semi-love drama in there. You get your happy-go-lucky friendship is magic.
Friendship is magic and wins the day. You get your Mary and Gary Sues.
Yeah, so if you take out all the bullshit like Naruto have, Bleach, and all that, Fairy Tail does a better job as far as, I shouldn't say story, but I think hopefully you guys know what I'm trying to say.
I think the feel of the show is what a shonen should be.
Yeah.
Because one thing I do credit Fairy Tail is it suffers the least from filler.
Yeah.
So,
although I stopped watching it because I didn't like every time when they cast a spell, they do the whole spell circle thing. I don't know if they got rid of that or they kept on going.
No idea.
So that's the reason why I stopped watching it. Because of that, I'm like, that was never in the manga. I'm like, there's really no point in having that. So I stopped watching it. But anyway, number 8, I kind of did a tie because I don't know if you like. Well, here's why. Number 8 is tie is Daily Life of High School Boys or Lucky Star.
Okay, you kind of went almost ends of the spectrum with that. I feel
like I said, it's like I don't know if you want to see a bunch of dudes or a bunch of girls. I know I've said this a bunch of times. They're kind of the same. Only one's Yuri.
One's aimed towards a slightly more male audience. One's aimed more towards a slightly more female audience.
Even though I feel
even though I probably could argue the high school boys anime is probably also geared pretty heavily towards the female demographic. If you want to really cut hairs on that one,
maybe because I think a lot of guys seen more Lucky Star than girls.
Oh, without a doubt, I love Lucky Star. Lucky Star's
hilarious. So. I don't know.
16-ass old fucking characters looking like they're 12. Get the fuck out of here.
So it depends on how.
Oh God. Don't mind me. I'm just fucking everything up here.
So if you want to go Lucky Star, that's more pop like reference comedy for Lucky Star. And then you have High School Boys is more like. Literally daily lives of high school.
Yeah, the daily. Remember back, or maybe if you're in high school, how like you guys exaggerate stories and such scenarios and situations you've been in. That's basically what the daily life of high school boys is, except they like actually go through those exaggerated situations.
Yeah. So it is.
There is a clip that floats around Reddit that's pretty popular where there's like a girl on a train. And every time like a guy sits next to her, she'll move and like make them feel bad intentionally. Yeah, and like it's so fucking funny.
I remember that one.
And then she's like mad when the guy she sits next to and moves away from is just like whatever. It's great. If you've seen that clip and you're like, that's kind of funny. Like the entire show is basically like that. So it's pretty great.
And then the last one is Ranma 1/2.
Ooh, we're kind of going back with some of these choices.
Yeah. So, again, if you like the whole I want everything.
Yeah, Ranma 1/2 just kind of does have action, comedy, drama, kind of out there humor in situations. Well, obviously very out there humor in situations just because of the nature of the show. But
yeah. So, yeah, if you want a generic one. I
wouldn't call it generic. I would call it like a step above in terms of... like things that add like a step above like normie anime basically is kind of how I would put Ranma 1/2. It's not all the way out there just because of the nature of the running joke and the plot of the show, but for the most part It's a pretty good action show. It's a pretty good comedy, decent drama. So
yeah, that would be my list to get.
Those are your top 10, though. Okay, I like them. Those are pretty decent. Got a nice variety of everything. All right, so I will get my general category out of the way. Mine aren't too detailed with explanations, as I kind of said, because I can kind of group these. So first one up is Death Note. If you haven't seen Death Note and you like the whole Sherlock Holmes versus Moriarty kind of angle with a supernatural element to it, go ahead and watch it.
I was going to put that on there, but then I realized they left a lot of stuff out.
They have, but I had to come at this from the angle of people who would not give a fuck about source material.
Okay.
And do these animes do it enough justice? And pretty much all of them do. Yeah. Second up is Log Horizon. I was originally going to put something like Overlord or SAO on here. And I was like, no, SAO, no one should be subjected to that. It's just, that'll put people off anime. So I thought, what's like a good trapped in the game anime? I was like, Dot Hack? It's like that's kind of a product of its time. Yeah. Some of the references they're just like, I swear to God, they're like, yeah, our high speed internet is like 20 megs a second. I'm like, Jesus Christ. They're like our super server uses 20 megs of internet of high speed like copper wiring. I'm like, oh my God, can't do it, dude. And then I settled on Log Horizon because you get that fun lead character who's very smart but can still lose. Fun characters around him that kind of fit the archetype that people like. You got the kind of dumb best friend but has a good heart. You got the lady friend and all that shit. And it's an interesting premise. What would happen if you were trapped in a game and you couldn't die? Not like Sword Art Online where, everyone's panicking and bullshit. The issue with Log Horizon is, what do you do when you can't die and there's no progression and nothing getting added to your game and you are literally trapped in a game in the first person now? It's really good. Shiro's a really interesting character. Some of the situations they get in are really interesting. I think it really takes advantage of the whole trapped in a game thing, and they address actual issues that people would run into. So that's why I go with that. It's also pretty safe. It's not super anime in any capacity outside of the whole glasses shining thing when he gets an idea type deal, but it's kind of funny. And then my next two I'm just going to group together, My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan. My Hero Academia is if you like the whole superhero craze that's going on and you want more of it, there you go. Go ahead and watch that. A lot of people I think a lot of people would really like a lot of the characters outside of Deku, because I don't know what the appeal of Deku is to even general audiences, but stuff like Todoroki and stuff like that, I get why a lot of people oh my God, it's so cool. I'm like, whatever. I've seen stuff like that before. I don't
understand the whole obsession with what's the face?
Baku. Oh, trust me, I don't either.
Oh, Baku.
Oh, trust me, I don't either.
Okay,
but whatever.
Other characters, yes, I can see it.
But. I recommend it just because it's a good enough show in the superhero premise that I think if you're a fan of the comic book movies, then you would like this, because it's essentially a comic book anime. Yeah. So, and because comic book movies have done a high school setting of superheroes well, then here's your fix.
Sky High.
I love Sky High. I do agree with you. That was supposed to be a 3-part trilogy movie.
Really?
And it fucking, because it didn't perform well, it didn't fucking happen, and I'm so mad because War and Peace is the greatest fucking name for a kid who has a hero and villain father ever. I fucking love War and Peace. He's such a fun character. Anyway, we'll get through this and we'll rant about how Sky High didn't get the chance. That'll be next episode 49. Why Sky High deserves a chance. And then Attack on Titan. You get actual good political stuff in this one. It's not super convoluted, and it's relatively relatable because it's humans fucking with humans. Some of the stuff I think might be off-putting, and what I mean by that is some of the characters are not as great as a lot of hyper fans make them out to be. So if you go in expecting some of the greatest writing you'll ever see, I don't agree, but it's solid enough to, again, where if you're looking for an action drama show that's, again, not super over-the-top anime with ridiculous stuff, then you'll probably like Attack on Titan. Yeah. So that was like my general recommendation. So anyone looking for cutesy shows, Flying Witch is one of my first ones. Very slow show, like 12, 13 episodes, about a witch that moves in with a new family, and she just kind of goes about her day and does cute things, and she like flies on her broom with like her little new friend, and they meet up with her sister, who is also a cute witch, and they also just do cute small things together. It's the daily life of a laid back witch, basically, is what I wish they would call this. It's very, very wholesome, very cute. Konohane Kitan, harder to recommend this one, but still very cute. So this one is fox spirits in the spirit world run a inn for like gods and other spirits. So it's it's similar to Spirited Away, except not as over the top with how much energy there is. We follow the main girl who was basically dropped off there, and they're like, well, you need to learn about the world and how to interact with people, and so we kind of follow her and some of her friends as they grow. Very cute, has some very sweet stories. Overall, just if you are looking for a cute that's not as energetic as Spirited Away, give that a try. Next is New Game. If you're an aspiring artist, as a lot of people in the anime community seem to be, at least at the high school age, the New Game is perfect for you because it follows a... what did she start off with? I think she's just like a background maker, but she's an artist, basically, that starts work at a video game company that makes all different types of games. I believe they primarily make like visual novel RPGs is what I believe they're known for. But it's basically her dream company. She grew up playing their games, blah, blah, blah. And we just follow her life as she gets into the working world and meets her quirky coworkers and, her boss that sleeps at the office with no pants on for some reason. And then, oh God, one thing I will say is there is a scene that you can probably fast forward to that is super unnecessary for the type of show. It's when the boss is waking up and she's like crawling to get awake, and there's the camera's behind her, and they just put so much detail on her ass. I'm like, what are we doing? But this is not the show that I signed up for. Not that I minded, but whatever. But yeah, once you kind of get past like the weird random bits of ecchi that some people don't appreciate. It's great. We learn it's past that high school phase that so many anime are fucking obsessed with, and I hate to a point. It's great. Next is Restaurant to Another World. Imagine Shokugeki, but everyone keeps their clothes on. It's just everyone food wars. So anyone who doesn't know what Shokugeki is. Premise is really easy. We follow a chef whose restaurant's door, for whatever reason, appears randomly in another world, and he runs a restaurant for the denizens of said world that find the door. That's about it. Nothing dramatic really happens. We meet all these fun characters that get obsessed with like one certain dish that they have the first time, and then they order like 18 of for the rest of their lives. And that's really it. If the food is delicious, they talk about it like it's the greatest goddamn thing on the world. So if you're a foodie and you don't like the fucking weird shit that happens in Shokugeki for no reason, give it a try. Last up in the cutesy category is Laid Back Camp or Yuru Camp. Basically, this is just a show about winter camping or fall camping, and that's about it. Very cute show, very, again, laid back as the name implies. We just follow this group of girls as they learn to love this activity and how fun and liberating it is, and kind of the quirky other campers that they meet sometimes. Great show. I really like this. It's very, very wholesome. There's some character growth for the main girl as she kind of discovers you don't always have to do everything alone type situation. Learns that group activities aren't as bad, so give it a try. Then I have drama. Angel Beats, that's kind of a go-to for a lot of people. I really struggled on if I should put this or not, but then I thought, the general public would probably enjoy it enough as a drama / sad series to put it on. I'm not going to spoil a whole lot, but it's basically we follow these kids in what is basically purgatory, I believe it is, and they're shenanigans that they get into with the regrets and their lingering stuff in life. So we kind of learn about all of them that way. Give it a try. If you don't like it by like episode 7, drop it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that your purgatory is fucking school.
Is school. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it just because it sounds weird when you explain it to people. But last one in the drama is Horimiya. This is a boy meets girl. Not even will they, won't they? They get together and they kiss and do other stuff together, and it's very heavily implied that they actually advance their relationship. So if you're really fucking sick of those will they, won't they, why won't they hold hands or kiss type situation, this is great. It's kind of one about those, you don't really know someone until you get to know them type situation. So, we kind of see what they're both like outside of school, and then a chance meeting has them, become friends, and then more than friends, and they don't really fuck around with that, and it's really appreciated. Really, really like this one. Read it, watch it if you're willing to get into the manga side of things. So, next up is comedy. Grand Blue. This is just the goddamn one of the funniest fucking shows on the fucking planet, just because of the shit that happens and the art style that they choose. So this is kind of more on the anime side when it comes to comedy, just specifically with like the timing of stuff and the animation changes. So anyone who doesn't know what Grand Blue is, a guy goes off to college and he's like, I'm going to make my college debut and be normal and it's going to be great. And he has to live with some relatives that run a diving shop? Diving shop, I believe. No. Diving shop, because they rent out gear and stuff for other people. And shenanigans happens because one thing leads to another, and 2 burly seniors at his college are like, hey, you're going to join the diving club, right? And he's like, nope, I'm good. And they're like, you're going to join the diving club, right? And they kind of force him into this strange world that they have created where they have drunken, naked drinking parties and shit like that. And it's all
right.
The diving isn't really the main focus. It's more of just this guy learning that, you're not always going to be who you plan to be type story. You can make all the plans in the world, but shit's gonna happen, and it's so funny. Again, a thing that went around Reddit and Twitter for a while was the bartender scene where they're trying to get jobs, and they're like, oh yeah, gin and tonic, that's super easy. Like, yeah, that makes sense, it's in the name. And then their friend is like, oh, give me a screwdriver. And they're just like, I have no idea what a screwdriver is. So they give her like a gin and tonic with a screwdriver in it. And that's just the level of comedy in it. It's so fucking funny. I really recommend it. And then the next one is Kakushigiro. This one is about a manga artist who draws dirty comics or dirty jokes and shit. And it's about the primary focus is about his relationship with his daughter. Oh, are you trying to think of this one? Yeah. Very good. Very, very cute. There's kind of a dumb plot twist and development at the end, but that's whatever. The growth up to the end is just real great. He's like kind of that over-dotting father because the mother passed away tragically. There's some very sad scenes involving that, and him growing and the daughter growing up. But overall, the sad scenes are few and far in between, but very powerful. The comedy is fucking hilarious because a lot of it comes from miscommunication between a lot of people or just misunderstanding. And this guy just goes batshit insane over his daughter constantly, and it just shenanigans and hijinks happen as a result. So, I highly recommend that one. It's pretty good. So now in the out there category, it's the only one that I have here. If you've already seen Death Note, or you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna like that. I would recommend Id Invaded. So this one is again, kind of like a Sherlock Holmes type thing, but way out there in terms of the scenarios. So there is a government agency, because of course there is, that specializes in tracking down serial killers. And the way they do this is they analyze the brain waves and the wibbly wobbly timey wimey mulligan shit that they think of to like the brainwave beta patterns of these guys. So they basically analyze the subconscious thought of these serial killers by diving into it. And it's always these like strange, abstract scenarios, and they basically identify the serial killers by like finding past victims or future victims, or like analyzing their psyche and stuff like that. So it's very interesting because the lead guy, obviously has a reason that he's doing it. I won't spoil it. He's not a good individual. There's a reason that he's the one that is doing all these things because of his past. The ending is kind of predictable if you've seen anime before, but if you haven't, it's a pretty good twist. Highly recommend that if you're into the whole, not necessarily true crime, but like just the psyche and interested in like interpretation of psychology. All right, finally, and the last bit, which is action. Black Lagoon, I'm going to recommend this to everybody. Rock, Revy, and the Lagoon Gang are just the greatest group of characters you'll ever done meet. Action is really good. It's made in the like early 2000s, so it's got a lot of charm in the animation. Some of the humor is great. The world building is very interesting because it's one of those typical like criminal cities and the hierarchy of how all that works. So it's really fun. I really like Black Lagoon. And then the second one is kind of in the same vein. It's called Jormungand. This one is about a arms dealer who recruits a child soldier, like rescues him from wherever he is, but you could argue he's still a child soldier because that's basically what he is. Hires her as her bodyguard, and we basically just go on this globe-trotting adventure with this group of arms dealers and mercenaries. And they're always hinting at something that she's doing the art. She hates weapons. She hates what she's doing, but damn, does it make a fuck ton of money? And there's a reason she's doing it, and you don't really learn until the end. And you're like, oh, okay, holy shit! Like she's doing like I've saying it won't really spoil. Like she's really doing that question of like, does a lesser evil make up for the greater evil type thing of what her grand scheme is. And it's real good. The characters are interesting. Everyone kind of wears their opinion and their personalities on their sleeve. You're not watching a group of people who are like, oh, we're doing this because we support her plan and really it's going to be... Nope, they're make it very obvious that they're in it for the money. And because her father was basically like, well, my daughter's an arms dealer, so you guys, one of my top guys is going to go with her, and then it kind of expands out from there, and they're like, yep, I'm just doing this for money, or... we're not good people. It's so refreshing to see that instead of them like, oh gosh, like I don't know if they're just like, no, we're getting paid to fucking protect this lady and kill people, and that is what we're gonna do. So It is a no bullshit. Don't have to worry about the moral gray area of things up until the last little bit. But yeah, really recommend if you're kind of sick of like the whole gray area action. Mustache twirling villain type thing. And then we already kind of had a conversation. I also put Rurouni Kenshin as one of my action ones. I was so tempted to put Samurai Champloo on here.
Yeah, so was I.
But then I was like, that still kind of reaches into the just a little bit too anime for a newcomer to, kind of show up. Drama, I was going to add Cowboy Bebop because I consider that more of a drama, a dramedy, or not drama, a draction show than just like an action show. But again, just that extra step of like just a little too anime and out there for me to recommend it. So once you kind of get more into it, definitely check those two shows out. But yeah, those are my recommendations.
All right. Cool.
A Charit's dog keeps eating his own hair, and it's so funny.
Yeah, it's annoying.
He just doesn't learn. He's just like, well, no. Why am I choking? Why am I dying?
Yeah, because he just goes over there. If there's like leaves over there, he'll just
eat them. It's so funny.
He does it. My brother's dog does it. It's like, what are you guys doing? But anyway, enough about my dog. So there was a recent, well, semi-recent survey that went down in Japan because that's where most of our surveys come from.
Yep.
Because nobody here in America likes doing surveys unless it's coming, they want to be in your face about it. Yeah, seriously, take the surveys. Honestly, take the surveys.
Take them, please.
Marco, a seller of women pantsu underwear, released the results of a web questionnaire that conducted on September and on the 16th and 17th, asking the opinions of 800 total people, 400 men and women each, 100 per age group, aged from 20 to 59, regarding the color of their underwear, bra size, and their lucky underwear. If you don't know what lucky underwear is, then you haven't been watching anime long enough. Lucky underwear saying, obviously, what's the type of color underwear type of underwear I'm gonna wear. If I'm gonna take off my clothes, this is what they're.
Yeah, this is what. Yeah, okay.
So for female voters, they're going from 10 to 1. 10 being other, 9 raspberry, 8 red.
What is the difference between raspberry and red?
Well, there's a difference. 7 blue, 6 is gray, 5 is beige. Weird.
I feel like that's way too high up. But what do I know?
4 light blue, 3 white, 2 pink, and 1 black.
I think like the top 4 probably are not really surprising to me.
Yeah. From the men, again, going from 10 to 1. 10 other. 9.
What is other? I want to know.
Well, could be.
I mean, I guess anything not on this list.
Yeah.
So
9 beige. Okay.
Why? Who is voting this vanilla ass color? Get the fuck out of here. We don't want you.
8 is gray.
What is wrong with you? Just answer other. Just no one's gonna judge you. Yeah, his walls are great. I don't want that. Get the fuck out of here.
Where was I? 7 raspberry.
Again, what does that? What?
6 is red. 5 blue. 4 light blue. 3 pink. 2 black. 1 white. Go figure.
I don't know why. White's so. I feel like white's just gray with less attitude. Gray is just white with attitude.
See, me personally, I don't really like. For me, color, it depends more on your skin tone.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I know this is coming from a Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a primarily Japanese demographic, I'm guessing.
Well, it is. Not only that, it also depends on the type.
Yeah, I would agree.
So, yeah, because black is kind of boring to me, unless you're wearing like a business outfit and then right under it.
Then I would like understand beige or black with that. Like that, I would get.
But if I'm going for a generic,
if I'm just like going out
color, like a color, I think it would be blue.
Okay. Participants also shared the bra cup size they believe is ideal. Both men and women, mostly preferring C than D.
Well, this is Japanese. Remember,
this is Japan. This is Japan, everybody.
So their C is what? RB?
RB, I believe.
Yeah. Huh.
So.
All right, yeah.
Well, you know what they say, large breast fill a man's hand. Small breast will fill a man's heart.
I don't know about that.
So that's what fucking sad people quote.
Okay. So, interesting take on bra underwear color survey. They had to find some survey out there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Moving on, news. I don't know if I wanted to put this because it might ruffle some feathers and everything like that. So, the Quidditch, because of J.K. Rowling's homophobic, may or may not.
No, she's pretty much a TERF. She's made it very clear at this point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she has made it very obvious that she is a TERF. Which, we're going to withdraw judgment just because that's not what this is about. That's basically what she has stated.
So, the two major leagues of...
There's two? There's... What? Okay, we're going to let you finish this, and then I'm going to rant about something else.
Okay.
Just go.
So there's two Quidditch leagues, one in America, one in obviously over in the UK. Excuse me. Because of this whole, I guess, turf, that J.K. Rowling said turf, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They want to change the name Quidditch to something else because they want to distance themselves from J.K. Rowling. However, you guys are still playing the game.
The game, yeah.
So, hence I have on here on our thing. They want their cake and eat it too.
Yeah, I get the point of what they're doing, but also like it doesn't really do anything. You would just stop playing if you didn't want to draw attention.
I mean, they also said, well, now that we're going to change our name because Warner Brothers owns everything Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, that is Warner Brothers.
Because of that, they can't really get sponsored without going through, WB. So with the change, they might get sponsored and everything like that. Mm. But like I said earlier, I'm like, you can't just.
Okay, so it's kind of like so there's multiple reasons they want to change it, but this is just like on the list basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
okay, that would make more sense then. But yeah, ultimately you would just stop playing. Yeah.
So
anyway, why are there two Quidditch leagues? Who the fuck is playing this fucking game? It's so dumb.
Oxford.
God. All right, I quit. I'm out. Goodbye, everybody. I'm leaving.
College students.
I'm getting my passport. I'm out. Goodbye. We're done. Packing our bags.
You're going up.
Going home. Goodbye, everybody.
No, she's really packing up. She's really packing up. She's really packing up.
But yeah, oh my god, it blew my fucking mind when even back in like 2017, 16, one of my brother's friends, I won't name him just for whatever reason, he's like, yeah, we play Quidditch in college. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, that must just be like a board game or something. I was like, oh, explain it. He's like, oh, you've seen Harry Potter? I'm like,
no,
I have not seen Harry Potter. I have never read a Harry Potter book in my life. I was like, you actually play Quidditch? He's like, yeah, it's super great. I'm like,
yeah. God
damn.
Yeah, there are two leagues going around, but it's but yeah. So anyway, moving on. Next article.
I can't handle it. I'm done. I'm out.
Well, you'd be surprised how many their leagues of.
I know. I'm just saying. Just fuck me. just fuck me, dude. I wonder how many Hermiones are running around out there now because of Harry Potter and Luna's.
Oh, legally?
Yeah, like legal full name is like Hermione blah last name. Like their actual name is like Harry Potter names. I wonder. It's got to be a lot, right? Because people are dumb and unoriginal.
I don't know. Well, you mean like Harry Potter Smith or just Harry?
Just like Harry or Hermione or Cerberus or Lupin or shit like that.
Well,
like the very obvious homages to the names.
I don't know. Because very obvious homages to names, to right off the top of my mind, is Harley Quinn Smith.
Yeah, Harley Quinn Smith. Jesus Christ.
That's it. That's the only obvious homage that I could think of.
Yeah.
Harry's a very common name.
Yeah, that's true. Harry's pretty common.
Because, I mean, look at how many English people name their kid after, that Prince Harry's first.
True.
Firstborn
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
So, I don't know. It's hard to tell how many Lunas out there.
Or because of Harry Potter. Okay.
Yeah. So, do you want an extra $20? Well, Philadelphia, the cream cheese company, will ask you not to buy their cream cheese, and they'll give you $20.
Yep.
Reason why, much like Canada and
their maple syrup.
Well, Philadelphia's running low on cream cheese.
Yeah, they're high demand because everyone's at home baking, and they're like, wow, this is kind of fun and easy. Let's keep doing it.
Yeah.
So no longer is that reserved for bagels in New York or Caribou or the Brugger's or whatever. I thought this was hilarious, and it kind of blew my mind because the first sentence is, cheesecake is among the most classic and beloved of holiday desserts. And I've never connected those two.
Really?
I have never connected cheesecake with, like, the holidays.
Really?
Never. Maybe that's just me.
Probably, I guess. I mean,
like, I've had, like, cream cheese, like, frosted cookies and stuff, but I've never had cheesecake and, like, Christmas and like the holiday season connected. Maybe it's just my family.
We had cheesecake last. I bought the cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory last Christmas.
Huh.
So
yeah, I don't know. Then maybe my family's the weird one.
Maybe no, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. Maybe we're just too white.
Well, I guarantee
it's okay because I said it.
I mean, I guarantee having cheesecake at not Thanksgiving, Christmas is not a black thing. It's not a.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe it's not just a black thing, but maybe I don't know. Maybe my family's just so out of touch with reality, and we're just missing out on fucking cheesecake.
I mean, okay, do you have pound cake during?
No,
really.
We don't have a lot of sweets.
Oh, maybe that's probably it.
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
Because I know bundt cake and pound cake are typically a Minnesotan thing.
Yeah, bundt cake I know is like a big Midwestern thing, from what I understand. Almost.
Probably, yeah, Midwestern thing, but
yeah, cheesecake never hit the table.
Huh.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, nothing. Never hit the table.
So what does hit the table for you guys? As far as like dessert, I mean, I know you just said you guys aren't.
We don't generally. Oh God, what's it fucking called? Fuck! What's it called? I'm drawing a blank. It's like a chocolate pie.
Chocolate pie.
There's like a name for it.
Chocolate pudding pie.
It's not chocolate pudding pie.
Oh.
Oh my fucking God! What's it called? Oh my God!
Chocolate pie.
It's chocolate with like a graham cracker pie crust and then whipped cream and then like chocolate shavings on top. What the?
What
the fuck is it
French
called?
silk.
French silk. Thank you. Yeah, that's like the big holiday thing we get. It's French silk.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we usually get that a lot.
Okay, you guys get French silk too. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Well, my mom always gets it. We just eat it and.
Yeah.
Because that's like the only thing she can like eat because she's like lactose and shit.
Oh, okay. That would make sense.
But I mean, it's still good. So.
But yeah, that's like the big sweets that we get is French silk.
Okay. Something in the news that just came to light, which boggles my mind.
This is so strange.
Keanu Reeves' mother happened to be the clothes designer for the Dolly Parton Playboy cover that she did back in the day. If you know of that, I know of it. I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen like the full thing.
So it turned out Keanu Reeves dressed up as Dolly Parton during Halloween back in the day.
Yeah, I thought this was just a really fun, kind of cute article. Is Keanu Reeves' mom happened to design a outfit for Dolly Parton for Playboy, and he wore that as a Halloween outfit. That's like such a strange, small world of coincidences.
Yeah,
it's just funny.
However, there is no pictures of it.
Yeah, there's no pictures of Keanu. Unfortunately, you can find the Dolly Parton cover though. But
yeah.
Yep, unfortunately, nothing. No little baby Keanu with Dolly Parton's wig, and because he says that he had long hair, so all he did was like put on the outfit and like wore the stockings and put on the bunny ears and like that was it. Like that was the outfit.
That's funny.
So that's like such a coincidence of 3 small things happening in a row.
Yeah. All right. So we are at the end of the year, and with that comes the Simp of the Year awards.
Yeah.
So because once again nobody at all votes
or emails us,
we had to do it ourselves again.
We pulled a Thanos. Fine, we'll do it ourselves.
With Matt's girlfriend breaking the tie.
Yep.
So, and third place, we have Bing at Bing 90K, capital K, BB.
Because Bing 90 lowercase k BB was taken. I'm gonna make that joke the entire fucking time. I don't care.
So it's funny now, and I'm looking at it. For some odd reason, it looks like Bing Knob. I don't know why.
Oh my god! Now that you pointed it out,
you know how your brain like
yeah.
You've seen that? Okay.
Fucks with you.
Second place is Cloud at BTS _Cloud _2003.
You just avoided the fucking top slot, Cloud.
Yeah.
Just narrowly.
And number 1 goes to Larry at Blackbeard 52586.
I would read you some tweets, but I'm blocked.
Yeah, Matt is still blocked.
I'm still blocked. He's the only one that's blocked me.
I will send out your trophy
and your congratulatory tweet.
Speaking of which, going back to new shows, from now on, we're just going to do quarter, and then at the end of the year, we'll take our quarterly winners.
Yep, and then that'll be like maybe like a bracket system or something. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. But yeah, we'll do every quarter, winner of the quarter, and then the winners go at it.
Yeah.
So keep on simping, simps.
Yeah. MVP.
Simp. Let's go. Simp.
I gotta find that. I gotta find the thing. I gotta find the. Here he is. MVP.
Simp.
All right.
I'm such a big fan of our stupidity. Oh god.
All right, on to our reviews.
Yep.
First one up is Night of Aaron. This 4-episode, 16-minute long anime is...
I don't know why it's 4 episodes. I don't know why.
I don't know. It's decent.
It for sure exists.
Yeah. So the premise of the story is that Aaron, which, by the way, isn't a knight. I don't know why...
Aaron's like not a place, and I don't think her like companions are knights.
No.
So, and knight is spelt like Knight, so like an actual knight. So it's not Night of Aaron as in like the time. So I don't know why it's called Night of Aaron.
So she's going around with this sword spirit, which again, Aaron doesn't possess a sword. Also, I don't know if anybody else can see this spirit.
I don't think they can.
Unless you're a spirit itself.
Yeah.
So Aaron's going around trying to fix a phone for some odd reason so they can find.
Yeah, this is
Tomcat.
This is a high fantasy setting, by the way, and they just have a phone.
Yeah.
I don't think the phone's ever explained. Not like even a backstory of like a 2-second flashback of like, oh, I got this from my father.
Yeah.
Or anything like that.
And so the spirit, gets, obviously needs nourishment. And the only way she gets nourishment is if Aaron, makes, get that whole life.
Makes sweet love
to random creatures. Like, oh, man, I'm so dizzy. I'm like, oh, hey, there's some goblins over there. I guess I got to bone them.
That was on top. What the hell?
Yeah, I know.
How? Anyway, there's a ghost amongst us. We're making fun of.
Oh, did I not tell you?
No.
Oh, yeah. Ghost been following me since we're Virginia. So.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome. Well, this is the last show, everybody. We went out on the simp of the year, and that's about it. That's all we're getting. Goodbye, all those future plans. That was all a bluff.
Where was I? Yeah, so there's some goblins over there. I guess I gotta bang them to give you some
food, I guess.
Yes, spiritual energy and everything like that. And so every time they get to a dungeon, quote unquote,
to find materials
for the
phone.
And then you're like, hey, there's a trial that you have to go through, and I'm gonna boink you with this toy, or I'm gonna bang you in this hole and whatnot, and say, oh, thanks. Here's your chest of prize of going through the trial and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so, hey, this bunny type girl say, hey, thanks for material. I'm gonna fix your phone. By the way, here's another dungeon. Here's another prize, and then the prize is actually either a costume, which Aaron goes to. What was the first episode? I think it was like some nightclub bar.
Yeah, some night tavern or some shit like that.
And then oh, I'm feeling kind of horny, I guess.
Yeah, feeling horny. If only there was men around here that would help me. It's like, oh my god.
So yeah, that's pretty much the whole series.
But even use "they are men of culture" as a line. Yeah, she's like, I need money, and so they go to a brothel, and she's like, I'm gonna sleep with men.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, sure, why not? They don't make a big fucking deal about it.
And it turns out the phone, Tomcat, turns out to be the Spirit of Sword's sister. And
very unnecessary plot twist / reveals when considering they already have a pseudo smartphone that they're walking around with trying to fix.
Yeah.
And it's just you need an excuse for her to bang things and people. So
I'm like, sure,
whatever.
But
then they're like, oh, I'm actually not who I said I was, and blah blah blah. Or yeah, that's basically what happens. And I'm like, what's the fucking point? I don't care. That's not what this story's about.
Yeah, the only thing that kind of bothered me was when they're in the desert and then there's this giant snake. Again, the spirit, the sword spirit was like, oh man, I'm running low on energy, and we're in a fucking desert. Oh, lo and behold, there's a fucking snake and other snakes, and smaller snakes went inside her vag. It's like, well, I don't think. When he just spit up through his mouth, and it just all of a sudden, oh, that was great. I'm like, that wasn't cum. That was just saliva.
Yeah.
And shit. How'd you get energy from that?
Maybe it's just the act of being sexual. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. So the only good thing about this is the amount of costumes that Aaron wears.
Yeah, a lot of different costumes, a lot of different scenarios. You get monster, you get dudes, you get gangbang, you get some public shit. You kind of get everything with this show. It's okay. That's about it. It's okay. Yeah. Animation's decent. If you like Poro animation, it's very similar to that. So
yeah. Next up is the Devilish Cherry.
Chinatsu Akarte, the Devilish Cherry.
This series is based on the manga of the same name.
Tale about a young man who seduces the very beautiful nurse assigned to his room while he's in the hospital. Because what else are you going to do?
Get better? How about that?
Yeah, except, recover. He soon has her coming back again and again until she becomes a sex slave. Because, if you go through nursing school, the one thing I think of you being is submissive. In time, he makes a move on other nurses and even on one of the female doctors in the hospital until they, too, come under his spell. This isn't a supernatural one, by the way.
Yeah,
he just dicks them down real well, and they're like, wow, That was fantastic.
I gotta get me some more of that.
I gotta stay with this man who brutally raped me.
Yeah.
What game are you playing? All you're doing is... The opening scene is someone playing on like a PSP knockoff, and it's just like a 3D camera going around a really shitty CGI tank, and the guy's like pushing 800 buttons, and I'm like, please stop. Just stop pretending like you're playing a game. Just have him texting or something like that if you want fucking movement.
Yeah, I mean, but he wasn't really playing because he was listening on the...
I mean, yeah, obviously, but like, I don't need 800 button presses to fucking move a camera around a shitty CGI tank.
Well, you gotta have... Never. But anyway.
Yeah, I know, but like, do anything else.
So, and by the second episode, we realized he's just in there so his rich daddy won't, cause a scene. So he won't cause a scene, mess up, the family's name.
So dumb.
Which
I don't even
my mind.
understand. He's in the fucking hospital. Else daddy will sue is basically what the plot comes down to. Like, he's gonna do something real dumb, and he's like, oh shit, I can't let that happen. But in reality, it really has nothing to do with this guy.
No.
It doesn't matter what his fucking dad does. It's just... it's so
and there was dialogue in there. It's like, oh, you've been in this hospital all your life. I'm like, first of all, you know how much...
money that is, even in Japan.
Yeah.
Even in Japan.
I mean, if you got to be hospitalized for,
you're at like a special facility at that point.
Or at home.
Yeah. With a nurse, with a live-in nurse and like a doctor that visits you.
Right.
Something like that.
You don't literally take up space.
At a fucking hospital fucking room.
And he's not even in like a by himself type of room.
He's got a fucking like roommate every time.
Like, it's one of those 6-person rooms.
Yeah.
But it just happened to be just him in there.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, he's just he's just in there, because daddy didn't want him out and about and everything. I'm like, send his ass to USA.
Yeah, send him overseas. Do something. You'll save so much money.
Send him to the UK where there's who knows how many boarding schools there are.
Yeah.
I think that's all they have is boarding schools.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, send him there just send him overseas. But no, I'm going to stay here.
Yeah, I'm going to keep him in the hospital. That keeps active records of his fucking enrollment there, I guarantee. So if the goal was to like keep him secret or so people couldn't talk to him or whatever, it's not that hard. Just be like, oh, is so-and-so staying here? Oh, sure. Here you go. Here's his room.
Yeah. I'm going to try to find this manga. Hopefully it's that I can read it, see if there's more to it than why he's in the hospital.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
No. But the nurses in itself, the first nurse he coerces into having sex with, like, hey, there's something wrong with my junk. Can you see what's going on?
I got a snake bite. Can you help?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll jerk you off. And then all of a sudden...
and then he's like, oh, that's not good enough. I need more, and you're not... here, let me do it.
Yeah. I can't do this anymore. All right, fine. Give me another nurse. All right, here's another nurse. Like, oh, he's cute. I'm going to service him. Like,
yep.
Right, that was easy.
It's like, wow, that's how easy it is? Sure, why not? All right.
And then, rinse and repeat almost.
Yep.
So... all in all, depending on what the manga in itself is like, there's probably obviously more girls to it than just than just the 2 nurses and the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was not chief of staff, chief medical person. Other than those 3 women. There's probably 2 more maybe in the series.
Yeah, I think my guess is
average of 180 pages. Then most likely there's probably going to be 2 more. But yeah, I got to read this. I got to try to.
Yeah, I kind of want to read it.
Just hopefully they'll have more to it, to the story on why he's just laid up in the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
perfectly fine, playing this bullshit
Dumb tank game.
World of Tanks. That's not
Yeah,
even,
this like the World of Tank ripoff.
and this like you said, the PSP knockoff is not even. It's like half that size.
Yeah, it's like and anyone remember like those Game Boy Slims, like the tiny Game Boy Advances that were just like just big enough to like to have the cartridge and like the fucking buttons.
God.
That's how big this is, but shaped like a PSP. And I'm like, damn, you're trying to play a war game on a screen that's like 1x2.
So if you're gonna try to find a hentai that takes place in a hospital where you want to bang a bunch of nurses, there's a lot better than this.
Yeah, there is much better.
Much better. So I'd say pass on this one.
I'd say pass.
Pass. Yeah. So yeah, that is our episode of today. In other news, semi-news, I ordered my fabric, samples of fabric, because I can't.
Yeah, boy.
I can't tell.
Yeah, boy.
Some of the fabrics online. I actually went to Joann's to try to find what it looks like, and didn't help at all.
Didn't help. Yeah, at all.
So I just ordered samples. I ordered 3 samples of it. Funny thing, when I hit checkout and then went through PayPal, I didn't fully. I thought that was it, but it wasn't. There was another fucking step which I didn't see. So I went through the whole week trying to figure out where's my
why didn't I even get a confirmation?
Yeah, and it turns out, I didn't fully check it out. So.
I shit like that just happened to me quite a few times.
So I probably won't get those samples until maybe next week.
Yeah,
hopefully. So hopefully they're dope as shit, and I don't get an email. It's like, no, we can't do this. It's like. That would suck if that happened.
Maybe if you find like a knockoff retailer in like China, we can do it because they'll print anything. Don't give a fuck.
I'd rather not.
I mean, I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying, if desperate times come to desperate measures, we can do it.
I won't be that desperate. It's like, well, guess not. The only thing I can think of is buying like the actual big ass blanket and just cut that.
Yeah,
shit up.
I could try Etsy or something.
I tried them. No.
Nothing.
Well, I take that back. There is somebody who can do fabric, but it's a lot more than Joann's.
Shit, Joann's is already pretty out there.
Yeah. So.
Hey, you only circled 5 times to sit down.
So yeah, that's our show of the year. I hope you guys enjoyed this year as much as we have.
Words, languages,
yeah.
Sentences, syllables.
Yeah, try to piece that together, and hopefully when you see us, I don't know, should we do live? No, because we have to give them what.
Yeah, we have to let them know ahead of time of what it's going to be. So
yeah, I'll look for that. Same name as you. Excuse me. Same name as usual. I will see you everybody next year. I don't know, but that's the reality of it. I hate when, see you next year.
Hey, and you're just like,
yeah. But you know what I mean.
Yep.
As corny as that was. But,
yep.
yeah.
Everyone have a fantastic rest of the year, a very happy holidays, and we're out.
Yeah. Bye.